Welcome back to the Sports Stackers Experience. I'm your host, Robbin Marx. I used to work at NBC Sports, #basketball, and I used to be one of the founding creator coaches at vidIQ. And now I'm here serving you, trying to improve the lives of everyone in the Sport Stackers community. We are recording live right now, so if you are tuning in live, please let me know where you are pulling up from while we get into it. And also, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer as many questions as humanly possible. And let me know, how does my voice sound? I actually had I was having some technical issues with I'm using Riverside these days recording content for our fantasy basketball channel, and I was having some serious audio issues, and I was like, what is happening? It's because the gain was really strong on our little interface here. So I turned it down. So let me know if I sound too low, if I'm coming in crispy, all of that good stuff. Big shout out to TJ. I see you, my main man of the 6th borough. Jersey is definitely in the house. Okay, first thing I want to talk about, and honestly, I throw up a little bit in my mouth every time I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Your hook or your headline, your opening line, right? This is super critical across all mediums of social media, right? Written, video, whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that initial message that you share is enough to capture your audience's attention. However, I just wanted to share a few that I'm seeing work right now. And I'm going to be looking over here to the left if you guys are watching at home. And I'm actually looking at some data with some of the highest performing notes out there, right, in the last 6 to 8 months. So this one is something that we see a lot. It's a really good engagement strategy to kind of speak to Substack, right? We see a lot of creators doing the Dear Substack post. So they'll say, Dear Substack, please connect me with writers who love to create about Lamborghinis and butterflies, whatever their topic is, right? And then magically, Substack pushes their content to those people. Another version of that, one that I'm looking at right now from a writer named Anna McKenzie, which this note has about 150 likes, 44 comments, no restacks, but it starts Hello Substack verse, which I think is really cool. So that's something you can mess around with. Substack world, Hello Substack village, whatever it is. And then again, Anna is saying, please connect me with. She's saying with writers. But something cool that she does, formatting is a really important part of this as well. So yes, we're going to talk about some headlines, but I think it's worth noting that your formatting is really critical as well. And we're going to talk about, I have a few examples here of things you can do to kind of just, spice up, put a little bit of seasoning on your formatting. So what Anna did here was really cool. She took one of these like plain text arrows. I don't know if you see, they're very popular on LinkedIn. You probably have seen them. You might have to go deep into your symbols on your computer to get one, but what I have on my notes app, I have a file of all of those kind of symbols. So as you get symbols that are not emojis, right? These are plain text symbols. They're not as like over the top as like a yellow pointing finger, very subtle. She has this white arrow pointing to each section instead of using bullet points. So this is really cool. So she's saying, please connect me with writers and ideas people who are, colon, and then she does one of those arrow lines and she shares the first point. She does that 4 times total, and it's actually, there's more on the post. So, and then she ends with an emoji after sharing 5 of those arrows. So that's just an example of one. Another one, this one is from Daniel Bustamante. Very, very cool name. This one has 603 likes, 61 comments, 53 restacks. And he said, and this is good because this is one that is almost like creating conflict on your headline. He's starting off with like some conflict and him, giving some kind of contrarian position, right? So he says, don't become a quote unquote content creator. That's his headline. So like you're gonna stop in your track, especially if you are a content creator, right? You're like, what? Like, don't be, that's who I am, right? So he says, don't become a content creator. That's his hook. Then we go into his formatting. He has, it looks like ascending length of the lines, right? So it looks like they're getting the size is changing as he's going down. He says, become an entrepreneur. The difference, entrepreneurs build businesses, content creators chase views. I love that. And then he has a closeout sentence, which is a lot longer. He says, you'll make way more money solving real problems than going viral. So that's really cool there. Big shout out Swanee Roundball in the building, Madeline in the building, Abba's in the building. I see you. If you guys have questions, please drop them. We are currently just going through some successful notes to just kind of analyze some formatting. And for some of our YouTube episodes, I'll be able to like share that stuff on the screen. Substack doesn't allow us to do that for live streams right now. So I'm just going to kind of talk you through what I'm seeing. Another really good format or style that I'm seeing is repetition, right? So having a strong hook and then letting your formatting kind of lean into a specific type of repetition. Here's a good example. This one is from Nicholas Cole. I love Nicholas Cole. I'm a Nicholas Cole fan. This dude, he is that dude. He has a really great hook. He says, a lot of people want to be quote unquote known as a writer. Just to kind of rewind, on Daniel's post, he also did the quotation. So this is really cool. So like keep that in mind, like putting quotes over your key word of the headline or the chorus is another kind of strategy when you're cooking these up. So Nicholas says a lot of people want to be quote unquote known as a writer, period. Then he goes to the next line. Very few want to sit at a table by themselves and write. And then he goes on and he says, and write, and write, and write, and write. He says that 4 times. That repetition, like, it's okay. Like, people are like, no, I don't want to do that. This is like, a form of poetry, man. Like, we got to like be able to expand our horizons in terms of how we are presenting this content in writing, you know what I mean? Especially when you talk about notes. And then after he says, and write, and write, and write, and write, he says, stop chasing recognition. You become a writer the moment you hit publish. Ooh, that's good. And just the way the text looks, it almost looks like the top of an E. So if you do a capital E and you remove that bottom line, it kind of looks like this. So his note almost is just very visually appealing. You know what I mean? And that's something we want to be mindful of when we talk about formatting. Another thing that we're seeing is folks using bullet points here in Substack. So that's something you want to try out. Also, you want to make sure that your notes are skimmable. Like people can like see it and not get intimidated by like a huge block of text or like a whole post. We do have some of our community members who are experimenting with longer notes, like mini articles with some pictures and a really lengthy note. That's okay to test, but I lean towards trying to keep as much of your note above the fold as possible. If you don't know what below and above the fold, when you don't have to press more to see the whole note, right? I don't want to make people work. I want to like try to see if I could capitalize on that real estate that they have on their device or on their computer that is showing my entire note. And I don't want anything to go below. Now, I do experiment and sometimes things are a little longer. I'm not like a daggone, like I'm not the notes police, right? I'm not like, oh my God, that's above the fold, that's below the fold. It's not that kind of party. However, I want us to get into a space where we're being intentional with what we're doing. This is not like, this is not 2002 Twitter where we just like, hey, I'm at the store buying, a pack of chips. Lovely. Like, nah, we're not doing that. What we're doing here, we're trying to use this as a canvas to really paint a picture for our audience to build that strong human connection. Caleb says, hope you're having a good night. Just thought I'd stop by. Caleb, nothing but love. I appreciate you, my guy. If you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat. We'll go through a few more of these and then we'll talk a little bit about the 31-day sprint. So another format type that I'm seeing work really well, specifically is working well on Twitter right now, and I'm seeing it kind of leak over into the Substack world. It's taking 2 to 3 sentences, sometimes one really long sentence, but usually 1 to 3 sentences, and keeping that paragraph above the fold. For example, this one is from let me find a good one here. This one is from Cole Hayden. So actually, it's a quote. We'll find something else. We'll find something else. Oh, this is good because he's the master of this. This one is from Dan Cole. So he says, and this is 3 sentences. He says, "My editor has hit that point where he finally gets it. Started writing a fiction book and can't stop thinking about it. Got on a real training program and dialed in his diet. Complete mentality and energy shift. Video games became boring overnight. Fell back in love with life." Okay, that's way more than 3 sentences, but you get the point. Like, it's not like this line by line breakdown in terms of the formatting. It's a block of text, but it's a mini little story. And right now on Twitter, especially, these are doing very well. No images, just a block of text, really short above the fold. So that's something that is also worth experimenting with. Um, Quickly, I want to talk about images. So we talked about text. I want to talk about images real quick. Um, we talk about the GIFs or the GIFs, however you pronounce it, in one of our recent episodes. That's something that is still working. I would really test that out if you haven't. If you don't know where to get them, you can get them off of Giphy.com, Giphy. You can create a free account. You can get as many as you want. You can even test out some memes. Like, they have memes there. They also have the GIFs or the GIFs there as well. That's something you can work with. Another thing that is working exceptionally well right now, screenshots. Take screenshots of the things that are interesting to you. They could be photos, they can be graphs, they can be statistics, they can be from an article. Whatever it is that, like, kind of sparks something in you that gives you that, ooh, that's interesting. Take a screenshot of it and then write a note about it. That is something that is working very well for so many people across the platform. So again, just wanted to share some quick note formatting, headline, as well as image ideas and tips. While I have you, I want to talk about the 31-day sprint. If you didn't know, the Sports Stacker community started in December of 2025, and we started off with one of these sprints. We said that we were going to do them quarterly for 2026, and this is our first one. Huh? Like, it is going down. Like, I announced it on, I think I announced it on Monday. I announced it on Monday, and the community is like going crazy right now. If you are new to what we do at Sports Stackers, basically, we are a community of sports writers, sports creators, sports journalists, people who are uh, in all different phases of their journey. We have people from legacy media who have written for major publications. We have former ESPN television personalities. We also have college students, high school students, brand new writers who are trying to find their way and find opportunities. We also have people who are coming over from mainstream media and trying to build their independent sports media empire. And we're here to support them with all of the resources, all of the support in terms of, like, getting your publication and your articles and your posts out there. People are restacking, sharing, and the 31-day sprint is the foundation of that. So if you don't know, now you know. Come March 1st, somebody joked like this is the real March Madness. It is. It's going to be a freaking madhouse. People are going to be dropping notes every single day, and the community will be restacking, will be liking, will be commenting. Huh? People are going to be recommending each other. It's going to be such a positive space of light and energy, and we want you to be there with us. So if you can hear the sound of my voice, this is a personal invite to you to join us for the 31-day sprint starting March 1st 2026. 31 days of progress, growth, and connection. And we'd love to have you join us. All you have to do is visit sportstackers.com. That's sportstackers.com. And you will become a part of our community. And in our community chat is where all of the magic happens. We are really excited about seeing you there. I'm going to take a quick look, see if we got any questions. My man John is in the building. What up, John? We got Bill in the building, Carl in the building. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But again, you are cordially invited to join us for the 31-day sprint going down March 1st, 2026. And we're going to run that joint all the way until March 31st. It's going to be a freaking movie, and you do not want to miss out. Okay. So if we don't have any questions, I want to wish you guys a blessed night. Super grateful for the opportunity to connect with you. Talk to you soon.